What is up, guys? We are back on the Chevette, and as you just seen, I got the front of it finished up. So let's get this thing in the air, get the wheels off of it, show you the front end real quick, and we're gonna jump right to the rear because we are now down to 6 days to get this thing finished and hit the road for the Rockabilly Ruckus. So let's get busy. Okay guys, just a quick video of this front before we jump to the rear. Pretty much just how we left it, other than I fully welded it and was able to get in there and add some gussets to the top on both sides, and just drilled a hole for the airline through the inner fender well. We'll put a grommet in there when we're done, but pretty basic on the front. And come to the rear, show you kind of what my initial plan was. I was hoping to just use this factory coil spring mount. I thought maybe I could just trim it up a little bit, lower it, plate it, and be able to just slam a bag in there and be done. But not really. I'll show you guys. Just not quite enough room anywhere. This is an RE6. I could try an RE5, but I mean, we're only talking a ½ an inch difference on all sides. It's not gonna make a huge difference. And the biggest issue is I can't go lower with the bag how I wanted to, because it's already sitting over top of this link bushing. So kind of what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is just come in here and just cut this whole apparatus out of there, this whole spring pocket and mount, and we'll just come back, make our own flat mount, lower on the axle. So we'll have room for a bag in there, and off the front of it, we'll just make some new tabs for the link bar, and then we can come through, gusset the sides again. Then up top, I'm hoping to just get rid of this stupid little ring here, and then we'll have a nice flat boxed in frame rail to work with. I think we can incorporate a upper mount for that, and maybe drill some holes on the inside of that frame rail to get the bolts and airline and everything done. So that's kind of my loose plan. I'm just going to kind of get some measurements before I get to cutting, and just see what we come up with, you know, like our own brain thought thingies. I'm sure we can do something. Let's figure it out. Okay, so here's what my stupid little brain has come up with so far. Just kind of scribbled some marks in the neighborhood of where I'm going to cut this spring pocket off the axle. And I decided I want to go ahead and leave the back half of this mount on there. It acts as our shock mount, and also when we come back and plate this all in, it'll give us more to weld to. I think I'm going to put a plate flat down the front of the axle. We'll weld it to the axle tube as well as what's left of this mount, and then off the front of that, just a nice flat plate for the bag, and it'll be lower than this. It'll sit about where the bottom of this one is, I think, and off the front of that, new tabs for the bar, and they'll be down lower out of the way of the bag. So sort of kind of got a plan. Let's see what happens. Okay, so here's what I'm coming up with. Obviously, big ugly thing I cut off of there, and big ugly thing that my brain came up with. I don't know if that's much of an improvement, but that's what I got. I don't know what I'm really doing, guys. Surprise, but we'll figure it out. But obviously, that will go in place of the old one, something in that neighborhood. Get welded to the axle tube and to that lower mount. Bag will sit on this nice big flat area. Tabs off the front and down lower for the factory bar. And hopefully it does what we need it to. But this is a bunch of cutting. I'm not going to bore you guys with a time lapse of me cutting. So I'm going to get started on this thing and catch back up to you in a little bit. Okay guys, so I just got all that cut out and tacked together. Show you what I came up with here real quick. So it's just a real simple L bracket. And I left it pretty long so I can get it in place and figure out where these tabs will need to go underneath for the link bar, but they'll just come off the bottom. I was thinking off the front. We're just gonna run them right off the bottom there. So once we figure out where that goes, we can come back in here, shorten this up a little bit, round the edges, make it nice, and add some gussets to both sides. But that's kind of what I had in my head. I am going to go ahead and order another set of RE5s for the rear, but for the time being, these 6-inch bags seem to fit in there, and we can at least get it mocked up and it'll be fine for the weekend. Let's see if I can jack it up with my legs there, but I'm sure you get the idea. It will just, a little crooked right now, but it does sit flat when it's not crooked. Oh, and also I got that stupid spring ring thing out of there, but you get the idea. It's gonna fit in there real nice. It should work out pretty good this way, especially once I get some smaller bags in, but I don't think it may be hitting, but for the weekend, it's going to be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and move forward with it. And like I said, I'll get some measurements of where this bar lands and get some tabs made up, get everything tacked into place, get some gussets made, just get it all tacked in there, cycle this a few times, make sure we're good, and then I'll cut it back off the axle, fully weld it on the bench, and slam it back in place, and this side will be done. Okay, so we got our big ugly bracket cut back off the car, got the tabs tacked into place, and went ahead and marked everything we can cut off of this big ugly bulky bracket, make it a little nicer. We'll get our center hole drilled for the bag. Went ahead, made some gussets for the corner. So we'll get this thing all cut up and welded and get it back on the car. Okay, so I got that mount all welded up and trimmed up, tacked back on the car, and it actually worked out really good. And I went ahead and took the RE6s that were on the rear and decided just to try them on the front. What up, Bob? That's a good boy. But it turns out they fit no problem on the front. So we're gonna leave them 6-inch bags on the front, and I threw the 5s on the rear, and they also fit no problem, good to go. So that worked out really good. So I'm gonna go ahead, work on getting this mount welded to the axle, and we're gonna come in, make some plates for the back and tie that all back together. And this side be good to go. All right, so considering this is the ugly mess we cut off of there, I don't think our ugly mess is half bad, honestly. Got it all welded up, gusseted. That's all heavy 1/4-inch plate, so super strong. And this side's pretty much done, other than we gotta get an upper plate welded in there so we can get that bag bolted up and an airline ran. And this side will be done. So for the moment, that's gonna be a good stopping point. We're gonna take a few minutes and go check out some community yard sales going on. Like I mentioned in the last video, I may start incorporating just like a little more vlog type stuff going on, because I do a lot of stuff and it's hard to be in the garage all the time. So I'm just gonna start taking you guys along on some things. So we're gonna go check out some yard sales and see what kind of junk we can drag home. All right, so for all this yard sailing, we're gonna take the creeper machine. The Astro van is a yard sale machine. Oh, I always forget my door handles don't work on this thing. Got one functioning door handle, maybe two, but maybe we'll find some door handles at a yard sale. I thought I was gonna snap that one off. All right, guys, we did pretty awesome at these yard sales. I don't know how much of it you can see, but we got this van packed full. I bought somebody's entire collection of hundreds of license plates, some old inflatable beer cans, some old vintage signs, some porcelain lights for the shop, some old rusty West Coast mirrors for a future project, but they're cool. But let's get back to the shop. I'll give you guys a better look at this and we'll get back to work. All right, check it out, guys. We got so much good junk in here. Gotta crawl through here, get our door open because my door handles don't work. Don't tell anybody. Be breaking into my van. All right, but there it is. We'll get it in the shop and give you guys a good look at this stuff. So, you know, guys, if there's one thing I needed, it was more junk. Just ask Amanda. But seriously, every time I walk through here and I see an empty spot, I'm like, I could fit more junk there. So then I go out and I buy more junk. And that's why I have so much junk. But it's really not junk, it's good stuff. These porcelain lights, been looking for a bunch of those because I want to replace all these ones on the outside of the shop, these old porcelain gas station lights. So that's a good score. There's some of the junk we picked up. And anybody else notice new roof on the shop? That's pretty sweet, right? That's one of the things that's been keeping me busy and keeping me from making videos. But yeah, we'll get this stuff inside, give you a little look at what we got. Hopefully there's some good license plates in there. There's a bunch of them. But yeah, we'll get inside and see what we got. All right, who wants to see my junk? Come on. Don't be shy, just ask to see my junk, I'll show you. All right, I won't make you guys beg, but we did pretty good today. Starting with these signs, brought them in, got them cleaned up, and wiped down with some linseed oil. But that was definitely a good score today, as well as those lights we picked up for the outside of the shop. What else we got? All these license plates I've been sorting through. The ones on the floor are kind of the winter chicken dinners. These ones, they're good, but nothing to get excited about. I'll do something with them. But there's some really good ones here on the floor. I love the specialty ones, especially. That one's not too great. That one's pretty good. On that one, that's just offensive. I'm gonna throw that in the scrap pile. Old radio stations, little Pepsi one that needs cleaned up. There's some good ones there. And then same with Ohio ones. There's a bunch of other states here, and there's some good ones in there, but I prefer Ohio ones. But got a bunch of the green and white ones. There's some cool ones in there. Yellow and blue ones. That one's cool. It would have been a RV plate. So some good ones in there. I don't know if there's anything super special in all of these ones. Nice 59. A lot of matching ones in here too. But we got all the years. I like this one. I've never seen a veteran Ohio plate. I'm not sure what that's all about, but it's pretty cool. Got some older ones over here. This one, not real sure what that is. I'm gonna have to track down, do some research, see what I got there. But this was pretty cool. Just an old 30-day temp tag. The cool part is though, it was licensed right here in Sebring, Ohio, which is the city I live in right here. And that was from 76. So 40 some years later, and it made its way back here. That's pretty cool. And a lot of the other state ones. I really love these Michigan plates. These are the coolest license plates ever made. We got a whole stack of those. West Virginia one's pretty good. What else we got? There's a lot of West Coast states over here. Got some good Texas ones. New Mexico, Arizona, Oklahoma, Nevada. So got some good ones there. Some good California, Washington, Colorado ones. Some really good Florida ones. Nice and crusty, just like I like them. But yeah, we did pretty good on the license plates. That's an old one there, 58. That one's beat up, I love it. But these are kind of Midwest skates here. I don't know if there's anything too spectacular. Washington, D.C. one. That's pretty cool. And got some New York, Massachusetts. But yeah, we did really good on license plates. What else we got? West Coast mirrors. I don't have a use for them, but it's always nice to have them around. Throw them on a shelf for a future project. Same as these inflatable beer cans. I'm not a drinker, and it's not something I'm going to hang in the shop, I don't think, but they were cheap and they're cool, so I grabbed them. And oh yeah, you guys got to check this out. I don't know if they're blankets or tapestries or what, but they're cool, and you know the American train is going in that old Chevy van whenever I get back on that thing. Same as big old American flag and semis. That's really cool. And I also picked this little cabinet up, which is really good. An old fuel filter cabinet. Generator I've had. That thing was mint shape. Then one of my buddies decided to run into the side of it with a drift cart. You know who you are, but I forgive you. But there's our load for the day. You like my load? No, you do. So, yeah, we got some pretty good stuff there. And planned on coming back and getting back to work. Oh, wait, hold on. There is more stuff. Picked up some old cans also. And then check out this thing. These two independent ladies here, they don't need a man. They got a stupid thing that plugs into your cigarette lighter to jumpstart a car. What could go wrong, right? I mean, these things worked so good, that's why they're still around. But anyways, like I started to say, I was going to jump back on this car, but my buddy Alex hit me up, and we need some bag plates for this thing, and he's able to cut them out for us. So we're going to head over there, and while we're there, he's got a bunch of cool stuff. So maybe you'll see around that place a little bit. He's got a 64 Chevy truck that he's been working on. Did a swap onto a 2000 Chevy 1500 cab or chassis and drivetrain, and it's really cool. So we're going to make our way over there and check it out and get some parts made. All right, so back to the old trusty Astro van. I love the Astro van, even if it's only got 2 functioning door handles on the entire van. It's still cool. Not creepy at all. Yeah, so my buddy Alex is the most white trash Mexican you've ever seen. He's got as much junk as I do, and I love it. All right, so we got our mounts made, thanks to Alex. Go follow him if you don't already. Barbershop on social media and on YouTube. He's a good guy, so go follow him. All right, so we got our lower plates for the front, got our upper plates for the rear. So I'm gonna work on getting this one welded into place, and this side will be done. Okay guys, so I have marked in yellow everything we're gonna cut out of the frame there, and then we'll just come back through, weld this upper plate in place there, and then we will have that opening to where we can get the bolts and air hose back through. So I'm gonna work on getting this cut out and welded in place. All right guys, so check it out. Got that upper plate welded into place, bolted up a bag, threw a temporary air line on it. Attempt to do this with one hand, but let's check it out and see how it works. So that's kind of cool, right? We did something with some thingies and it does stuff, and I'm happy with it. And remember, I did leave some collapse in that bag in case I ever want to come back and notch the frame and notch a few things on this car and make it a little lower, but I don't think I will. I'm pretty content with how it is, but there's that side. I'm going to jump to this side, get it knocked out. You guys see me do one side. I don't think you want to watch me do same thing over and over and over. And if you do, go check out my OnlyFans. I don't think you'll be disappointed. But seems like a good stopping point for this video. So I'm going to knock out this rear. Next time you guys see it, that'll be done. I'll button the front up, and we're going to move on to all the air management, getting everything plumbed. I think at this point we got 4 days left, so still a lot of work to do. We're gonna stay busy. So yeah, see you guys next time. Oh yeah, and Slam Specialties. If you guys want to help a hardworking guy out, let's do it.